went for a run. It's late February in Vermont and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's mud season. So the roads are filled with like little puddles and deep mud, and it can be difficult to navigate. And there's lots of bumps in the road, but it's a really beautiful time of year too. So anyways, I just went from my studio to my house, which was great. And now I'm nice and warm. So I'm down at my lake, which has at least probably 13 inches of ice still on it, but there's an inlet and it's only like thigh deep, but it's still better than going indoors. So I'm going to go for a swim, a dip. This is a dip. There isn't enough, depth or open water to actually attempt to swim it. So, but I'm really interested in what it looks like underneath the ice. And this is about my 4th time this week that I've come down for a little dip. And I keep trying to get like under the ice shelf a little bit, which I know sounds really creepy, but I don't have enough water underneath the ice to kind of safely get underneath it, but I keep trying because it's getting a little warmer. So I think it would be really cool to take some images from under there, and it's just kind of cool. It's cool to do something that kind of scares you a little, And it's not a river. I'm not going to get swept away. It's a lake, so the water is just kind of sitting there. But anyways, so I'm excited for it, and I'm excited to get back in open water. Anything beats going indoors.
Okay.
Yes,
Hi,
sure.
my name is Karen Stannard, and I live in Fairhaven, Vermont, in the woods. And I am going to try to lift my foot up to my nose.
And where are you going to do that? What happened?
So I had I fell last Saturday on top of Pico. It was amazing conditions, and my son and I went down, and I missed a mogul. I landed on top of a mogul, and I felt something pop. I heard something pop, and I fell to the ground for 2 minutes, and then I got back up, and I said, okay, I can do this. So I skied down very slowly, and I stopped probably every minute. And so it's my right knee, so I actually skied a lot using my left ski only, which was kind of really cool to ski on one ski. Oh, I guess it's been a week and a day. So it's been 8 days since I got injured. And I've started physical therapy for it, which I do daily.
What is your goal for recovery with this?
The goal is to do physical therapy for 6 weeks and then reevaluate my knee to see where it's at. The goal for me though is I want to get back to where I was before I hurt my knee. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give up skiing or hiking or jumping or running because I don't have an ACL.
Great.
So my goal,
you're motivated.
Yeah, I'm totally motivated. I'll do so if I have to have surgery, I'll have surgery, but the hope is to not have surgery if I don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just going to do a little test early in your injury here and see how close you can get your big toe to your nose.
Okay. Here I go.
Without actually hurting yourself, but
Right.
just sort of give yourself a baseline of what kind of range you've got.
So I'm moving my leg. I don't have any pain yet. I'm going to use my other leg to help.
So you're about a week out?
Yep, I'm a week out.
That's impressive. You've got impressive range of motion there.
I have really good flexibility normally.
And do you do yoga?
I do.
Do you think that is...
I do. I think I've done yoga for, 24 years.
Oh, wow. Long time.
So I'm going to lift it a little bit more. I'm feeling some pain right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's how I'm going to stop there.
Great. We have a baseline now.
I do. And it didn't really hurt much.
Yeah. Great. So you've been doing, you also are a swimmer, and
Yes.
you and I swim together in the fall. And are you looking forward to icing your knee?
I am. I am hoping to ice my knee this week. I have a lot of time. I'm off for a week, so I'm really hoping to ice my knee and swim. And I'm hoping to swim in a pool this week and actually start moving. I haven't moved a lot, which is really rare for me, so my body really wants to go move.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to go to the local college pool and
Yes.
go for a swim.
Yeah.
Great. That seems like that would be a great sport for a knee injury.
Yes. Yep. Swimming, I think, will be great. Cycling, an elliptical. That will be my first steps. Getting back to moving.
Great. So you seem pretty committed to this, very determined. Don't, even though it's a bummer to lose the ski season, you seem
Yeah.
hopeful and
Yeah, I'm very hopeful. I know it will be a process. It will take some time. I know that. And it's just a little bump in the road, really. I know I'll
That's-
be skiing next year.
yeah. So, and where do you think that you get your confidence that you're going to be able to come out of this and not spend the rest of your life saying, "Oh, I can't do that because I tore my ACL," and so, or be afraid to get back to the sports and activity that you love? Do you have prior history with any kind of illness or anything that you draw on?
I do. I've always been determined, and I've always acted without thinking when it comes to adventure. I traveled in my 20s extensively in the United States, a lot of backpacking and hitchhiking, and I did a lot of things alone, so I didn't really have a lot of fear. But I learned that I can do anything I put my mind to. I did Lyme disease for several years. I was really sick. Some days I couldn't even walk down my little driveway, which is about 100 yards. I was very sick. But I came out of that actually healthier than I was when I started getting sick. So I'm hoping that this injury can actually inspire me to be even healthier than I was before I got hurt a week ago.
Cool. Well, best wishes.
Thanks.
Sounds like you've already been on this path where you're using your mind and a positive attitude to work through really challenging situations. So you've got history. Sounds like you have history with that.
I do. Yeah. I mean, there's challenging situations every day, I think, in all of our lives, and I think it's how we handle them. And I think if we learn from them, then it makes us stronger and more determined.
And how much do you think your mental state has to do with recovery and determination to, heal and recover?
I think it has everything to do with it. 2 days after my injury, I was sitting in a restaurant, actually in Benson. I was sitting in the Wheel, which my husband's family owns, and I had ordered a hamburger and French fries and all these dips, and I don't really eat like that. And I remember sitting there, and I was just like, I'm just gonna start to eat because I can't move my body. And then all of a sudden, my daughter, who's 10, said to me, "Why would you do that? If you were in a wheelchair, you wouldn't do that. You would have to live like this, and this is just a little deal." Because I kind of felt sorry for myself for 2 days. And all of a sudden I started to just shift and realize that she's totally right, and I don't need to feel sorry for myself. And really, this is just a knee. It's not life, and it's such a little deal. So I think your mind and your attitude has everything to do with healing.
Atta girl. Thanks, Karen. We are going to check back in with you and see your progress because that's very exciting. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Graciana Stannard. I'm 10 years old. I live in Fairhaven, Vermont.
Nice. Go ahead. Were you going to add something?
And I like to be outdoors. I like to ski. I like to dance.
What kind of dance?
I take ballet and jazz.
Oh, nice. Excellent. You sound like a very active young woman. So you enjoy all of these things, and you go to school,
Yes.
and you do your homework and all of that stuff. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
What kind of skiing do you do?
Downhill skiing at Pico.
Not on a snowboard.
No,
By choice, or
I
did you
don't want to snowboard.
like alpine skiing?
Yeah.
Nice. That's great. So tell us a little about other things in your life. You were just mentioning, because we were talking with your mom, you were mentioning that you've had a few injuries. Tell us.
Yes, I've broken 5 bones. I had a head injury where I broke 2 bones in the back of my skull. I had bleeding in my brain and a concussion, and I can't smell anymore. And I've broken my ankle on a trampoline, and I fractured my other ankle on a trampoline, and I broke my clavicle because I fell off a bed when I was 2 years old.
That's a lot of injuries for a young woman. But it doesn't appear to have stopped you from a very active lifestyle.
No.
And some people, I've sort of noticed that once people break a bone or if they have an injury, they tend to feel nervous about maintaining an active lifestyle. And it doesn't sound like that's the case for you?
No.
And why is that?
I just don't really get scared of hurting myself because I hurt myself a lot. I'm not really scared of doing anything because I'll break a bone.
Are you scared of anything?
Well, when people scare me, like last night, my friend, I was walking out of the bathroom before bed, and she jumped out and scared me, and I screamed.
A normal response to your friend jumping out, right? So kind of fun, scary kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That's scary. Cool, that's great. So tell us about the brain injury. Not a lot of people sort of say, hey, I broke my ankle. Oh, and by the way, I had a brain injury. That's a pretty unique injury. Tell us about that.
I fell off a trampoline. It had a net, but somebody left the net open when we had a lot of friends over. And we were sword fighting, and I kind of probably jumped back and hit my head. And it was like icy ground. It was like fall. And then we came inside. I slept for a long time. And then my parents took me to the hospital. I was asleep, and they took a CAT scan. And then they sent me to Burlington, and I had to stay there for a while. And they figured out I had 2 broken. Actually, we figured out I had 2 broken bones in my skull like a month after it happened, and we thought I just had 1 broken bone in my skull and bleeding in my brain and a concussion. And my parents figured out I couldn't smell when one of my family members sent me flowers, and I couldn't smell them when we were in the room. And then my parents talked to the doctors, and they figured out that bleeding in my brain could have messed up my smelling nerves. And now I still can't smell, but it could come back sometime.
Do you miss that?
Yeah, I do. Well, sometimes it's good.
Like, I can only imagine.
Living with two brothers.
Living
And but sometimes,
two
like,
smelly brothers.
I don't like it because sometimes, like, people say, smell this, it smells so good, and I'm like, I can't.
Mm-hmm. What do you miss the smell of the most?
Venison.
Another unique answer. Venison when it's cooked, I assume?
Yeah, my family cooks venison, and it's really good.
It's really good, and you enjoy the whole experience of it, eating it,
Yeah.
the smell.
It has a lot of garlic, so I think I miss that smell the most.
Oh, yeah, that's a powerful smell.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you need to wear a garlic necklace as a talisman for the smell to come back. But then everybody else would have to smell you.
Yeah.
Oh, so what do you remember of that time? Were you in pain or were you
Yeah,
scared?
I don't remember a lot because I was sleeping a lot when it just happened. And in the hospital, I remember eating a lot of chicken salad. I ate that for like every meal for like 2 days. And I couldn't be near like a lot of light. The first time I went out of the bed, my dad took me in this car and I sat in it and I got pushed. He pushed me and I had to wear sunglasses and it still hurt my eyes, so we had to go back in the room. And it wasn't fun.
How long do you consider yourself fully recovered from that injury?
No, I still have a lot of headaches, and sometimes I get dizzy, and yeah, I have a lot of headaches.
You have a lot of headaches?
Yeah.
Really strong ones? What do you do when you have...
Usually I like lie in the dark with like an ice pack on my head, or I just take Tylenol.
Are they considered migraines or are they just...
Yeah.
Oh, they are. And is that new from your injury? Like you didn't have them
No,
before?
I never had a migraine until my head injury.
But here you are, a year later? Or 2 years?
Actually, it will be 2 years on February 18th.
Okay, so two years later, and you are an active, healthy... It's today.
Oh, it's today.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, happy healing anniversary. I'm so glad that you're so healed.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Look at you. You're smiling and you play and you're not afraid to go do things. That's a very inspiring story. That's a very inspiring story. There's a lot of people that might feel afraid to, that they were going to fall and hit their head, or that, they wouldn't ski or do any of that activity because they would feel afraid of it. And here you are, a very young woman, and doing something that a lot of adults would be afraid to do. So kudos to you, kiddo. I'm inspired. You're wonderful. Can we go ski together sometime?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Gracie. Let me know when these are live.
Oh, they're both gone.
Something I thought of on the way is that whenever I have an injury or a sickness or anything, I try to think of it as just a bump in the road. I try not to let it get me down or get discouraged. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to think of something. I'm going to figure something out.
Awesome.
When I hurt my knee, my goal became touching my big toe to my nose. It took me a year after I injured my knee, but once I was able to do that again, I knew that the knee was rehabbed.
Okay. It's so cool under there. It's like that thick. I can't really get under it because it's just not that deep.
Oh my. Do you want to try and do the shot?
No.
No? Oh, because you can't get under?
Oh, Joe. My skin is just like alive. It's just awesome. Woo! It's February. It's February.